Good evening and welcome to my end of the week recap here for SPY and trade plan for next week. Let me get here to Monday, go over my trades. Monday had a nice gap up here. I'm trying out a new algo strategy right here. It took me into some 287 calls, or excuse me, 297 calls here at 26. I actually manually put my stop in way too close here at 22. Those went very well in the money. I think they tripled on me. Um, Missed that opportunity. I could have re-entered in hindsight, but like I said, it's a new strategy. I'm working out the kinks. Now here on Tuesday, I can't remember what this news was that came out and did this, but I was looking at Friday, a huge bearish engulfing day. Monday couldn't do anything going up or down. I said if we get back into the range of Monday's high, I'm taking some puts. So coincidentally, there was a catalyst that caused selling. I took some 295 puts here at 42. Reduced some here at 81. The rest stopped me out here at 90 on that little bit of a dead cat bounce. Once it looked like it was starting to roll over, I got a great fill in these 292 puts here at 25. Caught some more downside, got out at 45. Had a long trigger take me into these 296 calls at 92. Also put my stop a little bit too close on this one. It actually took me out at 79 right there. Did go a little bit in my favor if I would have held, but ultimately did roll over and fail. So um, on to Wednesday. I had a gap down, and generally I have a long entry much earlier than what occurred here today. But for whatever reason, I didn't have one until almost 10:30, 11 o'clock. I took these 288 calls at 123. Robots and market makers really screwed with the premiums, and I couldn't get out, or I didn't get out until way over here at 85. So a little bit of a larger loss than usual if a trade like this fails. Just my fault. Probably could have gotten out a lot earlier. Had a secondary bottom trigger, re-entered these same calls at 75, and my stop here was too close. So I just wasn't feeling these trades these couple of days. Anyways, that one would have failed. So it is what it is. Finally had a legitimate trigger that did work and worked out very well. I got these 287s at 63, out at 85 on this initial pop. Now, of course, in hindsight, these things did go just about $2 in the money. Would have been an awesome hold into the end of the day, but went ahead. I took my target when it was there. On to Thursday, news came out, or there was pending news or something to that effect. Price action wasn't breaking higher, so I did take these 282 puts here at a quarter. Huge drop on news, flushed really fast. I was able to get out some at 75. The rest stopped me out at 64. Those, I think they tagged a dollar, $1.20, so I didn't even come close to catching the low down there. Very nice fast move, worked out very nicely. Um, and then I was looking for shorts later on in the day, but once it took out the high of the day, it looked like it was pulling back, put in a higher low. I went ahead, I tried these 292 calls here at 26. So on the pop midday, took some off there, took some more off as it came back up to, I believe it was the gap high or something. Took some more off right there. And then we gapped up and only had a couple that I was holding overnight. So the rest of them I did take off over here around 85. Missed the rest of this move up, but overall it's still a very, very nice trade. A lot of the trade crew guys actually caught a swing and some in the money or at the money calls down from these levels. So congrats to those guys. Let's see here. Just before the Fed Chair Powell was speaking, I took some of these 292.5 puts just in case. I thought the robots were going to use the news, the speech as a catalyst to go ahead and sell off some more. And it was a Friday, so maybe I was thinking risk off into the weekend. Did not happen. So I took these at 25, stopped me out over here at 17 for a small loss. So overall, good week on SPY, and looking forward to what the robots have for us next week. On to my trade plan. I don't really have any notes on here. I'm not looking at buying or selling at any specific level. Reason being, we're in a huge range of chop. It's a 20-point range from 302 to 282-ish area. Um, if we do come down to the 200 SMA, I will look to buy that as support. I expect something to set up much like what happened back here. And then if we do set up with something like this, and then we have a break of this 282 level, that's going to be a huge top that has set up. But for now, we're just in a big range. I'd say if that 282 fails, we're coming down to 272, probably going to blip below it and before we pop back higher. But right now, participants that bought this dip are betting that there is money, or at least a similar amount of money that was buying back in this region here that allowed for a pop up over the next month or so. I can see the argument for that. Markets are just valued at, I wouldn't say at extremes, but fundamentally the S&P 500 is a little bit overvalued. So perfect area for profits to be taken until things are re-rated. So um, we didn't quite take back all the moving averages like technology did with the Qs, but the SPY did close pretty strong here on a little two candle move up higher. Now on to the monthly time frame. Big, huge red hammer candle. Still too early in the month to really call what's going on here. All I can say is that these do show, or at least imply, that there's buying at lows. And onto the week, we have a huge wick here this week as well. This is a crazy looking bar. Not too many of them like it. Um, Generally, when a long red wick like this happens, we may have an inside bar the next day, whatever time frame it is, week or whatever, and then it starts to drift back down, retest it, and then we find out if there's actually support down there. So if it does come back down there, I will be looking to buy that and the 200 SMA, as I said, on the daily time frame. Now on to transports. Transports actually closed very strong on the daily time frame. The week isn't looking too great, but you can see again this long lower wick. Buyers at support or on lows. Hopefully that bodes well for the market going forward. A nice little three candle potential bullish reversal right here off maybe a V reversal. Haven't seen any call option activity or anything. Haven't really noticed or looked for any anyways to give me any hints as to what big money might be doing with transports, but looks like it put in a double bottom right here. Maybe it's going to pop back up here, create a higher low, or at least a flat tweezer bottom, whatever the case may be, and finally break this trend to go higher. So that's transports. Now on to technology. Like I said a minute ago, Q's actually finished the strongest out of the indices in my opinion. Um, Reclaimed every one of the significant moving averages, at least for my purposes, the 8, the 50, and the 21 moving averages right here. So if tech is doing good, financials actually closed fairly well. So could be looking good for the S&P going into next week. We'll see what happens going on Monday. If you have any questions or comments, if you want to come watch some of these live trades, since I'm not putting levels on SPY, I'm just going to plan on trading my algorithmic strategies as they trigger and set up, and I'll take what the market gives me. So if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Have a good weekend and good luck on Monday.